Hi, how's it going? It's Brennan here, Mortec the Magnanimous. I want to make a point to the president, to the government, to the media, that the school shootings and horrible catastrophes will just go on forever, okay? If there isn't some sort of respectful deal, okay? So, let me inform you, 10 years before I was born, my father was at the University of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. When JFK was elected, my dad would have been about 18 years old, doing comic strips, and they would have looked at him, look, this guy is strapping, outgoing, exciting, let's model him after maybe Superman. Okay, this is, the photos simply line up in that way. Now my dad had to run away to California to go get drunk after this. Okay, that was the reality that came out of that. Okay, a very similar photo resemblance between me and E.T. phone home. Okay, but there's more, because there's a photo of my dad and my brother holding, my dad's got a spear gun, and he told this story about the nurse shark down in Mexico. I guess he had a bunch of stringer fish, and the sharks would come up, try to get some of the fish. You know, they're pretty friendly, but, you know, pretty scary too, I imagine. Anyways, my mom would send the photos to Palo Alto. My aunt worked at Xerox, okay, and Steve Jobs went to Xerox, right? And got his ideas while there. I'm not sure if my aunt was there, but could have been, for all I know. She was there from the late 60s into the 70s, maybe even late, on and off in the 70s. And so this is the same thing as George Washington has his book that's published without really him knowing about it. Just sort of like, oh look, we did this and now everyone knows about you, now you're famous, live it up. And he becomes like the general who divides the world, okay? You know, you got to think about that, dividing the world. And you know, it's because of the threat of convict populations, you know, the poor, the undesirables, the classless, whatever. Not necessarily the poor, but the undesirable, okay? It's not the poor, it's those who are liability, whatever. The reason we came to America, okay, because things were out of control. And you could say this is Gutenberg, okay, the singularity. Information is flowing. In the time of Jesus, a few people could have read. There were a few books at that. They were all handwritten, pretty much. And so information was a lot more meaningful back then when few people had it. Okay, it just wasn't common. The equations, etc., whatever it was, it was very thin back then. Now it's so thick that we're, you know, up to our knees in crap. Okay, and I want to navigate that because, you know, crap is actually valuable, and if you don't think of it that way, then the world will turn into crap, because people will just say, oh, I don't want that. I don't care if the world turns to crap. But if you realize that, you know, if you protect the world, it's going to be worth more. Okay, if you clean it up, if you manage it, okay, and I want to do that. Okay, that's okay. When I see something, I like to report on that cautiously. Okay, both because I don't have the full story, and I want people to have a chance to see if there's anything absurd going on, you know, within themselves, within ourselves, and then you know, to be on it. No, don't play dumb, unless if you're the enemy. Okay, this is a very likely possibility. You know, anyways, you see also George Bush and Jeb Bush, governors of Florida and Texas. These places have been attacked. These are red states. The president is Republican. Okay, and the Afghanistan war, 9/11, that didn't need to happen. Okay, I could have prevented it, but not, well, in poverty. Just basically understand that if there are any parodies that are riding on me or my family, that it will cost the public dearly. Okay, I want the whole world to realize this. Okay. So, anyways, after Notre Dame, my handsome father was the comic strip artist, and in the football team, etc. Philosophy minor, art major. He meets my mom, whose little sister, who is the middle child, who has a older sister and an older brother, and a younger sister and a younger brother. She's the middle child. Went to school with our exchange sister. My exchange aunt, I guess. She's the same age as my mom's little sister, and she was East Asian, and this would be in Wisconsin, and this would probably been the only one of these. Okay, sorry, I got grease on my face. And this happened, I believe, before the Vietnam War got out of control. Okay, so you can play dumb, but it will cost it will cost the nation, it will cost the world, the environment, everything dearly. It will drive us into austerity, drug abuse, derangement. We'll end up having women leadership, and this is doom. Okay, if you want that, then spell it out and pay for it in advance. You can have all the women leaders you want, but you got to pay in advance. Okay, because we're not just waiting to destroy the world. Okay, and I love women and respect them as much as anything, but you got to understand that a woman leadership is like a man having a baby. It comes out crap. Okay, this is, if you're trying to make crap, if you're trying to fertilize the fields or something like that, and you just need some privacy, okay, I'll help you there. Well, that's actually what I'm about. It's about people not having haste, okay, but being in the right place where there is going to be happiness and respect and health, okay, and all these things. That's what's important. So basically, you have to make a karmic amends, okay? Otherwise, the idea that someone should just go off into the unknown, unprepared, which I perceive that message, but I'm telling you that it leads to tragedies. It leads to terrorism. Okay? If you don't believe that, then help me find the assets to go totally prepared, okay? Or I'll just call a government official, get a lawyer, and in a different country for academic studies, purely academic studies that are indeed formed and condoned by these places. Okay, I'll do that, but to go without any money, to go without any outlook, any hope, that's really promoting terrorism. That really is environmental catastrophe and this ultimate game of narcissism that the media would gladly play with great destruction, even if they don't realize they're doing it. They're just deranged. Okay, they don't want anyone from the frontier who is like George Washington. Okay, this is the fundamental, and it happened back then too. They could have said, "Oh look, we don't have anyone from the frontier like George Washington. Why don't we get that?" And then you would have world peace. Okay, but you have to not get it. You have to okay, if you don't, you're waiting for school shootings to happen. Okay, Mr. President, I want them to know that if there isn't financial settlement, you're just waiting for the next school shootings. Okay, and this is very bad, very, very bad. Okay, it's not okay for people, drug abuse, whatever's messing with my mind. Okay, because I think it's insane. Okay, I'm telling you, this is the reality.